Hello and welcome to Pastor's Library. My name is Stephen Redman and this is the channel where we talk about everything to do with theology books, particularly books that might be on a reading list for your seminary course or your bachelor's or master's degree in theology or biblical studies. Or maybe just books that you've seen around and want to know more about. Maybe you run a little Bible study in your church or a home group and you want to know more. So if you like what we have to say, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe and click on the bell. That way you'll know when we release another episode of Pastor's Library. Today, in response to some questions, I'm offering my favourite commentaries on 1 Corinthians. It seems to me a difficult book for commentators, perhaps because of chapters 12, 13 and 14, which focus on the Holy Spirit. Some people call it the love sandwich, the ministry of caring use of the gifts of the Holy Spirit in the church, sandwiched with love so that we'll know that that's how it all works best. Well, coming from a Pentecostal background, I know what I like to read about these particular chapters, but sometimes I think it's difficult for people coming from other backgrounds who will inevitably interpret those chapters in the way that they see fit and perhaps in the way that's expected of them from their theological background. I'm not knocking any of that. I'm just saying it makes it hard, I think. So, for example, in the Word Biblical Commentary, to the best of my knowledge, there are two books that have not been done. There's Acts and there's 1 Corinthians. Everything else, there's a book. Some of the other series, I have noticed when the last book that's come out has been 1 Corinthians. And you just have to ask yourself why. Well, let's leave the supposition now and go on to books that I have really felt helpful. I want to start with a shorter commentary, a shorter exegetical and pastoral commentary by Anthony Thistleton on 1 Corinthians. This was written in 2006, it's got 325 pages, and it's absolutely brilliant. Come on people, you've got to start with something good. It's a very good commentary. This, however, is a shorter commentary, 326 pages. Well, that's because we'll be talking about his longer one later. But this is a really good commentary, ideal for pastors. In fact, I would say this is ideal for everyone. House group leaders, home group leaders, this is a perfect commentary. And you will get most of the answers to most of the questions that are in most of our minds from this book. An excellent commentary. Thistleton was a sad loss to us the other year, but he has left us a huge legacy. So that's a good place to start. Conzelman, which is in the Hermeneia commentary series, this was a 1975 commentary, so it's dated a little bit beyond the normal realms of quotation in university essays. 323 pages. This is quite a good commentary in that half the pages on average are footnotes. Sometimes they're more than that. I opened a page when I was looking through this again the other day, and I found it was 7/8 of the page were footnotes. So it does vary. Conzelman has a lot to say, and there are some very controversial parts of 1 Corinthians, particularly the issue of women's head coverings and stuff like that. And Conzelman has something to contribute to that. This is definitely a worthwhile commentary to consider, but Hermeneia really need to think about replacing it now. The Baker exegetical commentary on the New Testament, 1 Corinthians by David E. Garland. This was published in 2003, so it's still quite fresh. 870 pages. Wow! The postage on this is enough to make you go and drive somewhere and buy it. This is an excellent commentary. Lots to offer you. I think the design layout of this series is good. And I do think that this particular one is very accessible, very easy to find what you're looking for. A good commentary, not my favourite, but a good one. This one by Paul Gardner is the Zondervan exegetical commentary, published in 2018. This is one of the newest ones out there, really. 811 pages. And this Zondervan series, I don't want to be too dogmatic about it, but this probably has the best layout of any modern range of commentaries. Use of headings and subtitles, use of shading and text boxes. This has everything. It makes it easy to follow, it breaks up the text, it's easy for you to engage with, and I do think that this has a lot to offer. This is definitely a good commentary to engage with. Now I want to move on to those that over the years I've particularly got something from. This is a 1998 commentary with 240 pages. It's the Abingdon New Testament commentary series, and it's Richard A. Horsley. Now, Richard Horsley has written a number of good books for our type of scene, and I really found this to be very helpful to me. Whatever of the difficult patches you're reading, he has something to say, whether it's about our bodies being the temple, or whether it's about women's head coverings, or whether it's about the gifts of the Spirit. He's worth engaging with. I am not a huge fan of the interpretation series, but those volumes that I'm a huge fan of, I am a huge fan. This is a 1997 commentary, 299 pages by Richard B. Hayes. Now, Richard Hayes, I have yet really to engage with any of his books that I didn't find helpful. And this one is no exception. This is a good commentary to have. Whereas many of the interpretation series are ideal for sort of house group leaders and maybe just for general access. This one offers a bit more, and I really think it's worth engaging with. 1997, it's still doable, but it's a good commentary. Now, Craig Keener is an author you'll often hear me rave about. This is the new Cambridge Bible commentary, and it's on both Corinthians epistles. This was in 2005. 142 of the pages are for 1 Corinthians, which means the rest are for 2nd. Because it's only 142 pages, even Keener struggles to include a tremendous amount of detail. And Keener is a great detailer. He is incredible in his context, his understanding of the history and the background, particularly the background of the languages. I would say to you that this is an excellent commentary, but if you're looking for one with a heavyweight level of detail, you probably need to go higher up my list than this. But I would never dismiss it. The New International Version Application commentary, this one is by Craig Blomberg. Craig is an excellent author. Again, he has committed too many useful works to the field of theology to ever be dismissed. 1994, so this is coming up on 30 years soon, but 352 pages. It's a useful volume. I would say to you that I engaged with this and I found it to be more than helpful. I found him very, very good on the issues of women's head coverings and on the issues around body being the temple. This is a useful book, and he was good on the gifts of the Spirit as well. So this is a good all-rounder. But now we move on to the ones that for me are beyond the level of excellence and ideal, particularly if you're coming from my background. But then I would say, of course, ones that will talk even-handedly about matters of the Holy Spirit are good for whatever your background. So, coming in at my number 5 position is the New Beacon Bible Commentary by Alex Deasley. Now, this is, I think, the newest commentary I've reviewed, which is 2021, 255 pages on 1 Corinthians. And what can I say about this? The New Beacon Bible commentaries are great in layout. They're very accessible. You just feel the font is going to fall off the page into your eyeballs. It's very easy to access and process. I really like this. He quotes many of the commentaries that are out there, including some of the ones in my list. I think it's a very helpful commentary. Remembering the NBBC ones are not too expensive, although they're all paperback. This, I would suggest to you, is a very affordable commentary if you're going to be buying a new one. And because it's 2021, it's going to be quotable for years to come. The New Covenant commentary series is a very helpful series. This one, by BJ or Apisa, I have to say I am out over the moon with this commentary. Published in 2017, 313 pages. There is only one word for this commentary. It is excellent. Absolutely excellent. It doesn't matter which of the controversial passages you're looking at. He has something academic and helpful, and I feel a lot of inspiration in this book. I feel this is something that has really been prayed over and edited well, and this comes over to me like an excellent commentary. For 1 Corinthians, this is a commentary I am always looking at now. So thank you, BJ. This is an excellent piece of work. Okay, now I'm coming into my top 3. And at my 3rd place, this is Conflict and Community in Corinth, a socio-rhetorical commentary on 1 and 2 Corinthians by Ben Witherington III. Thank you, Ben. You have yet again pulled it off. This is a brilliant commentary. This, however, is 1995 and 324 pages on 1 Corinthians. It's 492 pages in total, but the rest is 2 Corinthians. This is a refreshing commentary. The truth is that in 2 years, this will be a 30-year-old commentary. So get writing essays now and quote it while you can. This is a really excellent piece of work. Ben Witherington has tremendous insight, and he faithfully works hard on producing these pieces of theology for us. And this is a cracking commentary. Absolutely excellent. He quotes so many people. His bibliographies are to die for. The footnotes are helpful. They don't raise more questions than they answer. They're very, very useful. And I would just say to you, this is a commentary to hold on to so tightly. My top 2 are very hard to decide between. I'm going to put this second. And I'm only putting it second because of a great sense of nostalgia for number one. This is the New International Greek Testament Commentary by Anthony Thistleton. This is the big version of the one we started with. It's 1,446 pages. It was published in 2000, so at the time of filming it's 23 years old. It's an amazing piece of work. This demonstrates the calibre of the man that Anthony Thistleton was, his teaching skills, his research skills. This shows him at his best. It's a technical commentary, so it brings us straight from the Greek into the English. It's absolutely excellent. If you can't engage with the Greek yourself, let me tell you, you can still engage with this commentary. This is a brilliant piece of work. Layout is great, font is great. This is clear, it's beautifully thought through. This has everything. And I have to say to you, the author may have been an Anglican, but there is very little in this that I can do anything other than endorse and encourage you to. This is a great piece of work. If you don't have this in your library, you ought to do. Although, 1,446 pages, and it is the NIGTC, this is not going to be cheap. If you see one used in good condition, snap it up. These are a brilliant piece of work. And until someone else comes along who will be engaged to write this over the next 10 years or so, Anthony Thistleton is going to be the best that's out there. And I really, really endorse this volume to you. A brilliant piece of work. So, I've gone through my key commentaries on 1 Corinthians. I've said to you Anthony Thistleton is second, but I had a bit of a fight about that. And there is a real good reason why I had a fight, because my first is over the 30 years age. Now, I feel in my heart of hearts, I should have put this to the bottom of the list. But this is not only a classic commentary, I still think it sets the absolute standards for a 1 Corinthians piece of work. The commentary that I'm about to offer you is 880 pages. It was published in 1987 and it's part of the New International Commentary on the New Testament series, and it's Gordon Fee's tremendous epoch-building work on 1 Corinthians. Gordon Fee, I have never read the slightest criticism of his theological work, not even in journals. Gordon Fee has a tremendous insight, has had a tremendous impact on our theological world. And whereas he was a card-carrying Pentecostal for many years, that isn't my reason for picking this. It's when you read any page, you get the feeling that a father of the faith is holding your hand as you walk through the passage that he is exegeting. This is a tremendous piece of work. I've got to be honest with you, 1987, this really ought to have been replaced by now. But you see, I don't think they're in such a rush to do it, because most of the world agrees this sets the standard. Thistleton is an epic piece of work. Fee, I am just suggesting to you, pips it at the post. And I am sure that Thistleton will carry on for a good while yet. All I'm saying to you is, Fee is maybe not quite ready for replacement. Although, the longer it goes on, of course, the longer a series like NICNT is impacted by having older titles. So what do we do with this? What I would say to you is, if you can get hold of a copy of this, which when new is still expensive, if you can get a copy used, snap it up. These are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You will get so much from this. If you can't get it with the cover, then the cloth boards are still fine on your bookcase. This is a classic commentary. I have had this on my bookshelf for a long time now. In fact, I believe this was the only commentary on 1 Corinthians I had. It was the first commentary I ever bought. And I have yet to really top it. But Thistleton comes close. If you have this or Thistleton, then I would suggest to you, you have a top of the tree entry on your bookcase. But Fee just has that edge, and I totally endorse it to you, and I recommend the series, but this book is brilliant. I hope this has helped you. These at the end of the day are my personal choices, and I don't mean to endorse them to any degree. I'm not saying that other people are recommending them, although Fee and Thistleton are widely loved. So I hope that has helped you. If it has, please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please click on the bell, because that way you'll know as soon as we've released another episode. And keep connecting with us. Leave a comment below. I try to get back to everybody in due course. Until next time, everyone, God bless you and bye.